Taking it at the
time. Hello.
Well, fine. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this for how long? Who knows? Welcome to Heroes World Quarantine Podcast.
Question one is, why do you had that from your wedding, right? That's where it's from.
One does not know when you need a horse head, but one always
There's a
needs
problem
a horse
though.
head.
I've got a
Welcome to
problem.
the Heroes World Quarantine Podcast, Halloween edition. I'm your horse head, Stu. With me, as always, is the owner and proprietor, and sometimes, someone in Wakanda, John. Say hello.
Wakanda forever.
And finally, our resident Prince of Mischief, I guess.
Andre Greenridge.
Yes, Andre. So welcome for joining us today. A lot of
you couldn't even get a black hoodie. You had to get like the fluffiest, bluest hoodie you could find.
Do you know, I actually do have a black hoodie, but I did this like last minute. I was like, oh, I should put a mask on. Like I literally didn't pre-think this.
Mistakes were made all around, people. Can we just agree? Mistakes were made. This was a last minute edition, but it is what it is.
If we actually make this a contest, Stu's going to be out first because that cannot be comfortable.
I'm actually more worried of the repercussions from the anonymous group coming after me.
It depends on what you say, Rob. It really depends on what you say. So let's find out. Anyways,
it's Andre. It's Andre.
Sorry, Andre. Yeah, based on the background. Anyways, by popular demand, many people have asked us to do a review of Venom. So never late than never. Here we go.
How many people asked us to do a review of Venom?
A few people have asked us, and I politely said no, and I said no dice. But here we go. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. We're going to talk about that today. So, John,
are we legit doing this in the masks? Is that what's happening?
So, John, tell us your thoughts of the film. Did you like it?
Can you hear me?
Give us your initial thoughts, please.
Yes, we can hear you. You keep asking, we keep answering.
Yes. John?
This is a disaster, by the way. I had to open the eyes because it's fogging up, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to maintain.
You're gonna stop first, John, because
this is going to be like the bet from Seinfeld. John's going to be like,
So to those cosplayers, if you're wearing this during a convention or whatever, and it's hot, Jesus Christ.
I gotta say, I'm feeling very sweaty right now.
I can imagine.
Okay.
We do it for the bit. Oh my God, this guy's tapping out already.
No, I'll wear it like this.
Okay,
no, that's ridiculous.
So,
anyways,
give us your the bit of old bits. Give us your non-spoiler thoughts on Venom. What happened, John?
Yeah. So if we did this review when Venom came out, I would easily be able to say this is the greatest movie of all time. Comes in at a wicked hour and 30 minutes, like a really good sweet spot. Look at Rob's just acting all crazy. You're gonna find out why he's shaking his head and stuff like that. But it basically took everything you liked from the first movie and just did that. They're like, you like Venom talking to Tom. Are we going spoilers or no spoilers?
No spoilers. No, just
no spoilers. Yeah, okay, yeah. So if you, I'm gonna assume you watched the first Venom movie. If you didn't, that's fine. You don't really need much from that first movie to enjoy quote unquote this one. So yeah, if you liked Venom action, if you liked Tom Hardy talking to Venom, if you liked Venom doing silly things, then that's what this movie was.
That's
the basic.
That's good.
Yeah,
what do you rate this out of 10, John?
Out of 10, I'd probably give it a solid 7.5 if we're gonna do the 0.5 thing. It was a really solid rom-com.
Wow. What? Rob, give us your thoughts out of scale of 10. What are you rating this movie?
Got a headache. What am I rating the movie? I won't even. You don't want my spoiler free. What am I rating it? Maybe a 4.
Wow. That is like Andre. So thank you, Andre. Okay, we're gonna keep it going. So now we're gonna do at this point. You heard our thoughts on it out of 10. We're
What do you
gonna
rate it
give-
out of 10,
What's
Stu?
your what's your rating?
Oh, I give this a solid man. There were points where it dragged on, but I was happy when it ended. So I'm gonna give this a good 5.
Oh, okay. So I don't feel so off the beaten
No,
path then.
we're gonna talk about the difficulties of wigs momentarily. So we're gonna flow into that. So
That's your problem with this movie? The
Oh.
wigs?
wigs, just weirdness all around. I don't mind weirdness, but yeah, the wigs kind of threw me off at that point. We're gonna talk about that. John, what do you tell us?
I'm thirsty. Are you guys?
Full spoilers of this.
No, because you committed to the bit.
Oh my god.
Full spoilers, John. Give us your thoughts on the movie. What did you think? What did you like about this movie?
I like that it's basically, if this came out in the 90s, when superhero movies weren't the norm, it would have crushed. But I liked it. It was straightforward. It was basically like, this is the character that you want to see, Venom and Eddie Brock. And we're gonna sprinkle in some bad guys. They're not gonna get a whole lot of explanation or backstory. But they're gonna be evil. That's the simplest thing. Make your evil bad guys evil. And then we're just gonna go for it with the comedy and silliness of I'm talking to a horse and friggin' Hugo Weaving, possibly. I don't know.
Guys, I'm all wet.
The worst.
Did you get any water in the slot for the mask?
No.
It would be, if you had planned ahead and gotten a straw and drank it through the straw, that'd be more impressive. But the movie, the special effects.
I feel like Pat from Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
I don't think anyone knows who that character
no
was.
one knows what Pat is. Thanks, Rob, for repeating yourself. Carry on, John.
Yeah. So like it had a good amount of action and a good amount of comedy, and it
Really?
even
You
had.
think there was a good amount of comedy, or was it just really just a lot of just rando conversations and cringe?
I thought it was pretty good. Like the theater enjoyed it when I went. There's a hell of a lot of kids there, so definitely they're hitting their target market. A lot of people complained that it wasn't a full hard R rating, but I'm like, no, you gotta catch those kiddies. Like, they love this character. Like, I think we've talked about it before. Like, what is the appeal of Venom? There just is this crazy appeal for this character. So, and then they threw in are we still spoiler free, or are we spoilers?
We're going to spoilers. Just go straight in. Let's just go to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So warning, it's spoilers. But they threw in the girlfriend from the first movie that added some comic relief.
Michelle Williams,
not Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child, right?
No, this is the one from Dawson's Creek.
Yes.
Dawson's Creek. Oh, Dawson's Creek. Oh, yeah. I think, me and Pat had a whole discussion on this. I was like, I don't know this kid. I don't know this girl at all that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think you guys, giving it a low score. I can totally see where you guys are coming from, though. But
Because
if you just wanted to see something fun, and I made the rom-com joke before, but it essentially is a rom-com between Venom and Eddie Brock. And it follows the typical rom-com formula. They're together, they're together, having a good time. Something happens, splits them apart. They try to get on with their lives without each other, and then they end up coming back together in the end. And then Woody Harrelson and all the bad guys, they're just there for the ride. So I'm fine with it. I'm sure a lot of diehards will be like, oh, I wanted more Venom backstory and stuff like that. But you know what? In the comics, he's just a murderer. So I don't know what more you wanted to see from that side, but yeah.
The movie was, at the beginning of it, was very much, they weren't really getting along at all. So I don't know how much about them like really appreciate each other. They were kind of just bickering the entire beginning of the movie. There was no reason for them to separate outside of eating human brains, which was the biggest hurdle of this entire movie. Was, I need human brains, and Eddie's like, no. That was the biggest
or chocolate for some reason.
Yeah, chocolate, but they had to eat something besides humans, I presume. So Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. All right, Rob, what are your thoughts? What do you like?
Oh, that's a short list. Um,
As short as
what?
as
Remember,
short as
you
your
could see
breathing as
two
well.
Venoms for the amount of time it took you to see one James Bond.
Or one one Dune.
Well,
What did
Dune is a factor that just happened. It was not out before this movie was out. So
I like? Um, listen, I'm a Tom Hardy fan. I liked the fact that he is playing this exactly as
He wants
like he's
to.
committed to it.
Yep.
You know, like to me, I don't think he's doing it for the paycheck. Like I really think he has an affinity for this character.
it's like Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool, right?
Yeah. That said, this movie is atrocious. You know, like when Stu says they start off and like they're not getting along. Yeah, it's like the Odd Couple, right?
Yep.
Is really what it is. It's a comic book version of the Odd Couple. It is not the Venom that you know from the comic books. I mean, that was already established in the first movie. This is, I mean, the origin is obviously not tied to Spider-Man. So it's a whole different, it's a multiverse different version of Venom, and you just need to be okay with that. I didn't really like the interaction between, and knowing that Tom Hardy does the voice of Venom is kind of a bit bizarre, but
Does he do
whatever.
the voice of Venom? I thought it was Tony
I
Todd.
thought it was someone else.
No, it's Tom Hardy.
Oh no, he is credited as Venom. Yeah.
Yeah. So he for both movies has done it. So then, you know, you get into the Carnage thing. Now, I was a bit of a stand for the Maximum Carnage. Like I bought that SNES cartridge. I liked the Maximum or maybe it's from my Genesis, but I maybe I had it from both. But I liked the Maximum Carnage idea and the storyline. It was vicious, it was crazy. It was, my memory is it was violent, like it was awesome. And so part of me really wanted to see a proper Carnage. The problem is, and this is not a bash on Woody Harrelson, but he's a clown. Like he's not scary as a psychopath. He's not Hannibal Lecter, right? He does, because he's so foolish, then it takes away from the psychotic killer that he is trying to portray. If he was quiet and reserved, like it's always the quiet ones that you have to be careful of. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the ones that could just snap at any time. And there was no sense of that. He was like a giant cartoon character come to life with the car, and you know, the whole idea about how he
the car. I forgot about the car.
So bad.
How he got infected, the whole backstory with the, you know,
Harris.
In the insane asylum, which turns out to be Siren, right? She's Siren, I think.
Yeah.
Or Shrek, I think.
Shriek, not Shrek. Yeah.
Shrek.
There
She could be Shrek too. You know, you never know.
You never know. Shriek. So, you know, the whole thing was just like I know that you're watching a movie like, oh, this is like a comic book come to life, but it was like the Batman and Robin of the Spider-Verse that we've seen so far. Like it was, I actually prefer Venom #1 to this.
Get out of town. Venom #1 is garbage.
No, not compared to this one.
Yeah.
Although the climax of the movie is very similar. It's two symbiotes going at each other up instead of a rocket ship, they're going up this long church spire. Like it was really like, you know, the exact same ending. The area in the middle of the movie that gave me like where I just was like, I'm out, was when you know, John mentions about like they kind of separate and Venom goes his own way, and all of a sudden he's in like a rave, and he's
Lethal Protector's out.
The Lethal Protector, and he's dancing. I was like, what is, like, at that moment I thought, what is Tom Hardy thinking? Like, what decisions is he making to do this? And Michelle Williams was a contractual obligation cameo. She brought nothing to, like, her role was insignificant. It was just, we needed to get Venom, the symbiote, from A to B. Let's use her as the vessel again, like the first movie. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The best part of this movie was that end credit scene that, that ties into potentially Spider-Man No Way Home. That's it. That was the best part of this entire movie. It was 90 minutes, as John said. I'm glad I went to the morning show because I saved myself $10 from. And listen, I'm gonna tell you, I took my son to see Venom 1, and he came out. He's like, "That's my favorite movie," and I was like, "You've lost all credibility." We came out of this one, and he's like, I thought it was okay, but I'm just not. I don't know if I like it. And I was like, well, there you go. Because this is a kid who generally will like almost any. He's like me. He'll like almost anything he watches, but he was not on board from that.
Yeah, Justice League. Justice League.
No, Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I love it. So at any rate, yeah, I'm just you know what? Honestly, this is a movie that if you haven't seen it yet, just wait a couple more weeks. I'm sure it'll be on video on demand pretty soon. And I don't mean to be glib about it. I just think it's the 45-day window, I think expires the end of November. So
yeah, it was such an interesting film because Andy Serkis directed it, and you can see to the love and care, as you mentioned, with Tom Hardy. He genuinely cares about this character. He clearly put a hand as, I think he was like an executive producer in a lot of things. But to your point, Rob, it felt like just an episode of The Flash where, who he'll fight? Another fast dude. It's like, how many symbiotes can you basically go through? And I guess that's why they, like, to your point.
You didn't like when he was like, "Oh, time to die," and he's like, "No, us, we're gonna die."
Okay, yeah,
there was like, "Oh, that's a red one. I'm out."
Yeah, there are some funny lines, but okay, there's a red one. It came from Venom. So does that mean Venom has the red symbiote DNA buried inside of him? Like,
I don't know. I don't remember what the storyline in the comic was, to be very fair. All I could do is every time I watched the movie and Venom and Carnage were on screen, all I could think about was that NES song with green jelly playing in the background, the theme song to with the red cartridge. For all you old guys that played Super Nintendo,
Oh man,
remembers
that was
song
so cool.
From Maximum Carnage, the song from the Nintendo game, or it was on Sega. Like, all I could think of was like, are they going to play that song? Like, would they make it? I'd be more thrilled about that than almost anything that happened in this entire movie. It was just a miscast to have Woody Harrelson in the movie. Like, it just didn't make sense for him to be there. Michelle Williams was fine. Eddie, like, I think you can see where if this was under the hand of Marvel proper, this movie would actually be less of a train wreck. But this is what happens when you just you let Sony just do what they're gonna do.
Yep.
The first one made a ton of money, and it's kind of the same thing happened with Wonder Woman. Let's double down with this brain trust, see what happens. And I think they made a misplay in their calculations. Like, yes, we want some of this, but not too much of this. And like I said before, somehow this hour and a half movie felt kind of at the right spot. I wanted to be over sooner. Like, if it was an hour, I'd kind of be happier. So yeah, like
I'll admit, if they added another 15 minutes, I would have been like, yeah, I'm out.
Like, yeah, it was weird. So yeah, and again, I think some aspects of the Venom symbiote was cool, but this whole thing, like, I must eat humans. I'm like, when did they describe that it must be humans? Like, is it like, I don't understand why? What did it do? And
why can't he eat like 50 squirrels?
Yeah, like, it didn't make sense, but I did.
Well, and then having his temper tantrum, like throwing apart Eddie's bike, and then he kept jumping into other bodies. And I was like, oh, so now we're in a paranormal movie. Like, what? Yeah.
Here's the thing: I don't know how old the symbiote is, so I can give that like a temper tantrum, like a 3-year-old. I did like the fact that he named the both chickens Sonny and Cher. Like, that made me giggle. Like, there's some aspects of it that, like, I don't want to eat them. They're my best friends, Sonny and Cher. And then Eddie's like, what are you doing? So there was some cool, like, even the drawings he did with the double hands and whatnot, like that I thought that was a unique kind of take on the character. But overall, I was like, I'm just happy this thing's over. John, what did you hate about this movie?
I like his questions. He asked me what I liked, and now he's asking you what you hated because it's very obvious.
I'm trying to think of what I disliked about this movie.
Seriously? You can't have like one thing pop in your head? Like that.
I don't know. No, not like that.
Holy shit.
I was just along for the ride. I guess the fact that it has no kind of
That was like the Ghoster Coaster of,
it doesn't have any kind of
superhero
like
movies.
repercussions. It doesn't like mean anything other than like this kind of random end credit scene, you know, like so that's I guess the biggest takeaway from the movie. Everything else, like, you know, they get rid of Carnage, sure, great. Maybe the
Carnage, they just got rid of the symbiote. Did the symbiote die? Like, did you just
yeah, I don't know. Maybe the inclusion of the other guy turning into the, I forgot, the who turns into like another symbiote. Yeah. I thought maybe like, was that really necessary? Are they gonna do a Venom 3? I guess so. But yeah, I don't know. It was what it was. It's a 90-minute like just silly movie.
It's gonna make bank in China for sure.
I think it did, didn't it? It did well.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it's made money given the type of year it is. But okay, I guess, listen, we've often talked about the fact that, you know, movies, there's a plethora of things that you watch. There's so much that things that, you know, and it comes, I guess, difficult, you know, to find the time to rewatch something unless you really like it. But that being said, sometimes we've known back in the days before Netflix, if a movie was on TV and you were flipping through the TV, you might stop and watch, you know, the half of it or the rest of it or whatever. Nowadays, if you're walking by and somebody's playing the movie, you might sit down and catch a little bit of it or finish watching it. If for some reason my son was having a psychotic break and decided to watch Venom 2 on Netflix and I was walking by, I probably would just keep walking by.
Rob, tell us what you disliked about Venom.
I think I did already.
Hey, I'll give you this. How long ago was it since we've seen it? Like, has it been 3 weeks or 2 weeks?
It's been about 2 weeks,
at least.
probably.
And it might just be every movie is like this, but I don't remember much of it now. So I remember having fun at the time. Nothing has kind of stuck in my head. So I guess that would be a downside.
How is this comparable to Shang-Chi, John? Do you remember anything from Shang-Chi? Was there a moment?
Yeah, I do. I do still remember Shang-Chi, and I still do desire to watch it again. So yeah, there's a knock against Venom.
It came out on October the 2nd or October 1st or whatever. I saw it on the 2nd on the Saturday. So it came out on the 1st, on Friday the 1st. We are the 31st. It's 30 days since this movie came out.
Okay, so a significant amount of time. So, you know, but I will.
But that's not good, John. But it's not. If I check with you in 15 days at the same amount of time that James Bond's been out, you would probably be able to recall movies, moments from No Time to Die over Venom 2.
Maybe, yeah. I think you probably are correct. Yeah, you probably are correct.
Honestly, I can remember more from Naomi Harris in Venom than I can for in Bond, but you know, she had more screen time.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, there's a link. Yeah, she's in both movies, right?
She is in both movies.
That's John funny. Is like
Moneypenny. So you know,
I keep forgetting that she was only that this Moneypenny character became very much a side.
Moneypenny, not
Money.
Moneypenny.
I think that's from a rap song. I think there's a rap song.
Monty. My name is Monty Penny.
So, yeah, is that not how it goes?
Yeah. No. So okay, so needless to say, Rob is not a fan, but let's talk about that end credit scene. So for those of you who haven't seen it, God bless. Those who have, God bless. It's all good. But let's talk about the end credit, because this movie was almost, for completely to our point, mostly forgettable. Nothing in this movie matters. The only thing that matters is that at the end, he leaves San Francisco. This whole movie was basically San Francisco, and it's like at the end, he's like, we're going somewhere else. Which leads him to possibly go to New York City, where he'll embrace being a hero. And it leads to the scene where he's on a beach somewhere, and the Venom symbiote was always talking about wanting to see the beach of the sand and whatnot. They're in San Francisco. There's a beach nearby. I don't understand.
Yeah, you could just drive down the coast if you really don't want to be in San Francisco.
Yeah, just go to California, anywhere. Anyways,
I think they went to like Mexico or something, right?
Yeah, he's maybe he's in Tijuana. He's in the beach. they wake up in a hotel room. They see J. Jonah Jameson talk about Spider-Man, and Venom licks the screen, which makes no sense.
No. Hang on a second. You got to go back. They're in the bedroom. He's waking up, and he's like, Venom starts talking about like, I can show you some of the shit that I've seen. And Eddie Brock's like, what do you mean? He goes, I've seen some crazy stuff that's off this planet. Like, you know, I am from space type thing. And then all of a sudden the room starts shaking, right? It's like, oh no. And then all of a sudden, bah! Now the TV show they're watching is gone. And you're thinking, oh, did Venom just like have like a cosmic fart? And no. All of a sudden, you're right. Now J. Jonah Jameson pops up, and they are in a completely different universe essentially, and they're talking about Spider-Man. It's what's his face? Who plays Jay Jonah?
It's the voice of J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, it's the guy from the other movies, and you see the Tom Holland Spider-Man. You see him like Peter Parker on the screen. And then Venom's like, what just happened? Or Tom Hardy's like, what just happened? Some dude walks out of the bathroom. He's like, what are you doing in my room? And he's like, what? And that's what it. So they got sucked through the multiverse portal at some point that I'm assuming gets tied into whatever Doctor Strange has been doing in the commercials.
Multiverse of Madness. Yep.
And so that's what happened.
John, your thoughts?
I don't know. I don't like these kind of like end credit teaser type things. I don't invest a whole lot of stock in. It could just be a throwaway thing, right? But like if he does appear in the new Spider-Man movie, that's a pretty big game changer, I think. But I feel like it would have been leaked or some information would have came out. I think they saw like Tom Hardy wearing a Spider-Man baseball cap. Like, does that mean anything? But yeah, but like you guys said, like this character doesn't really fit. Like he doesn't fit in this Marvel universe, right? So it's going to be really bizarre unless the character radically changes once he hops into the MCU, especially the Spider-Man one, right? Like maybe if he hopped into what's the closest thing he could hop into, like a Deadpool movie? Like I don't know, but then Deadpool's not really officially part of the MCU yet, is he? I don't know.
Well, he's gonna be. It's just a matter of how and when.
Yeah. They haven't integrated this X-Men stuff, so I could see him hopping over to the Deadpool side. I find a hard time believing that this exact same character from this movie, the way he played it, pops into the MCU. Well, like even Paul Rudd has not gone that far over the top with his Ant-Man. You know.
I think we will see a very a brief glimpse or a cameo of Venom in No Way Home, but by no means is he a significant part whatsoever.
Yeah, he's not part of the Sinister Six.
No, so it will. You might just get like a glimpse, and be like, "Oh, more confirmation." For those who have not gone to see Venom 2, they'll be like, "Hey, we're going to pay you guys a little bit so you understand." The fact that this end credit scene was so widely talked, that was what Venom. Like the marketing behind this movie was don't spoil it, because the last 2 weeks of the push of this movie before it came out was, imploring people not to spoil it. Not because of what happened in the movie, but because
nice
of what happened.
I'm drinking it.
Good for you, buddy.
That's what I'm doing. Yes, Rob, continue.
That's all. So anyways, that's when the end credit scene has more significance than the movie. That's a problem.
Yeah, it was an hour and a half wait to get to a 2-minute end teaser.
Yep.
Which is how I feel. This is a lot of
like going to the strip club. It's a whole bunch of money for a lap dance. It turned out to be for Blur Song 2.
No, they wouldn't do that. But this feels like what we are all in store for in the Eternals. I'm gonna sit here for an hour and a 2-hour movie, just waiting for the last cutscene, because apparently the last cutscene is awesome, but the movie Eternals is gonna be just a meh to the end. So it's some foreshadowing right there for the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So whatever, it is what it is.
Are you looking forward, John, to a third Venom movie now that you've seen the second one, or will you be bamboozled to watch the third one when it never really comes out?
For pure entertainment, like it's like a Fast and the Furious I hate that we always have to go back to the Fast and Furious formula, but it's like this fun popcorn movie. If they balloon it up to like 2 hours or 2 hours 10 or whatever, yeah, for sure. That I feel like that's a bit much. But Tom Hardy does a good job,
Rob,
Sure, why not?
okay.
I'm not going to be eager to go see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're not going to go to the opening day. Rob, when are you going to watch Venom 3? When is your son going to take you? What's the situation like? When are you going to watch this third movie?
Sadly, it would likely be opening weekend. I don't know. Like, that's just the reality.
Nice stand, Rob.
That's the reality. Is that as much as I am not going to enjoy it, I have a feeling that he's going to want to go opening weekend, and we'll probably go. So, but
so all Rob's points are basically moot and null right now.
Rob never said he was not gonna like Rob is a slave to the machine. He's gonna pay for all these movies. He's not gonna like it, but he's in. So
listen, if I've committed myself to watching 2 seasons of Lost in Space, and I know that the 3rd season is the final, and as much as I don't like season 2, I will watch season 3 because I'm a completionist. So I will watch Venom 3 when it comes out.
Okay.
Because I'll convince myself that it will obviously be after all this shit that we're getting with the MCU. So I will convince myself that it has some significant tie into future Spider-Man movies. And therefore I'll justify, but I'll still see it on the Saturday morning. So I save myself some money.
Gotcha. So needless to say, this movie is we all recommend watching on video demand in the background. Don't give too much time to it.
Don't rent it. Just wait for it to hit Amazon Prime.
Yeah, wait till it's part of your subscription service. Don't
It'll be on Crave.
Yeah. Honestly, it has the same, although it's a big budget movie, it does feel like the same caliber of like a Netflix movie. Like somehow, like I want to watch it, I'm like, this feels like
I think if this went straight to streaming, I think it would have done really well actually.
Like
I agree.
It'll probably feel the same as Red Notice, to be very fair. So I have that's kind of the same caliber of that one. Or
like I said, it's like it's like if this came out in the 90s, this would be the shit, right? This would have been like, whoa, look at that. That's crazy.
And to be fair, we watched Spawn and Howard the Duck. So yeah, we would all agree. And Blade. So yes, if it came out in the 90s, this would be an awesome movie.
Yeah.
As we reviewed all of those movies at one point in time.
Yep.
So all right, so we're gonna move away from Venom, unfortunately, until the 3rd one comes out. I don't know if I think Andy Serkis deserves another one of these movies. Like, clearly, I don't know. He's a good director.
You think the main issue was with him?
No.
Why you guys dislike it?
No.
I feel like it was more the script.
It was all a mess. The whole thing was a mess. It was.
You know what? He was okay. To quote Stu, it's fine.
It's fine.
He was fine.
It's fine. Okay. We're gonna go to our next topic.
This is me flirting. Hey, how are you?
So,
nice.
I'm gonna give a shout out to the. Oh, someone's talking in the background. Steve Dangle and this group on the Steve Dangle podcast talked about this last year, and I want to bring it up to you guys this year.
All right.
They brought up Halloween candy boxes. There are 3 boxes that you can typically buy at your local grocery store: the red box, the black box, and the purple box. John, which is the superior box? Do you want to go through the
loaded question?
How am I supposed to know what's in each of these boxes?
Well, I think
come
you
on.
do. Do you not know what the brands there are?
I don't.
So the red box.
Go to Rock first or something.
Watch this. The red box is typically like Kit Kat. It's Coffee Crisp. It's
Arrow and Smarties.
Smarties.
Yeah.
The black box is Mars bars.
Yep.
It's M&Ms, sometimes peanut M&Ms.
Yep.
And Crunchy? No.
No, Score.
Right. And then the last.
How do you guys know this?
Do you not buy Halloween candy?
And the purple box is Cadbury.
So that yes, the cap is caramel. It is
Snickers.
Snickers. What's the other one, Rob? John, clearly you
What's
don't
this?
buy Halloween candy at all. I don't understand how you survived. In
I
life.
get to see the aftermath of all the boxes mishmashed together.
Yeah, it's.
Are none
yeah.
of them Skittles or something like that?
No. This is
No,
just
that's its
pure
own
chocolate
pack.
boxes. These are all chocolate boxes.
Yeah. I have a Mars bar here.
I would like to see you just shove that into the hole of the mask.
He just shoved that in the hole. Like
go through the eye hole. Go through the eye hole. It's quicker.
Okay. What's
You guys really
okay.
committed. Now you're gonna smell like chocolate for the rest of this nonsense.
So, John, tell us your favorite box of chocolate. If you have to
I
pick.
think I would go with the one with the two types of M&Ms because I feel like M&Ms are just a great overall candy, and then the peanut M&Ms offer you a little sustenance if you are really kind of like feeling peckish.
Rob.
Okay, so not to be woe is me, but I have a child who has a severe nut allergy. So unfortunately,
you blame Noah for this stuff again. Come on.
So unfortunately, we're really relegated to the red box, except for the Mars bars, which look a lot better than this one. From the black box, we can have those. So I miss out on a lot of the better candies that are out there. So by virtue of death, I have to go with red box.
Okay. Understood. So my next question to you, Rob and John, on your previous podcast that you've done on the stellar Sidekick Show, you've talked about a bunch of Halloween movies. What is the Halloween movie you recommend that you should watch with your kids? And what's the Halloween movie you would recommend to watch with your spouse, partner, boyfriend, girlfriend? John, as a father, what Halloween movie have you subjected your children to? What is the one that you would like to watch?
I would like to, if we were going from my childhood, the Garfield holiday specials were my jams back in the day. So the Garfield Halloween special, I would like to recommend that, but I actually remember it was actually a little bit scary. I'll pick
the
Garfield
lasagna came alive.
No, I don't remember. Something about it was slightly scarier than his.
Odie became sentient.
So I'm actually going to go to a great. There's so many options now, especially with the uprise in the the CG kind of style, like Toy Story-ish type movies. So there's so many to choose from. You could choose from the new Addams Family, which is actually a pretty good one. But I'd actually choose Hotel Transylvania with Adam Sandler. I think it's just a really fun movie, and it's got some banging Fifth Harmony songs and stuff like that. So
okay. Rob, what is the movie that you would recommend to watch with small children for Halloween?
Oh, well, I can't recommend small children. I think John covered that with Hotel Transylvania.
No, you gotta pick one still.
Why? I want medium kids.
Fine, medium kids.
Still kids. I guess his kids' age.
Still kids. Still kids.
Yes. Well, Noah is 12 and a half. So,
But you can watch everything, including Halloween Kills. That's not the fair comparison. A 12-year-old should watch Halloween
make
Kills.
him watch. I didn't make. He asked.
It was on.
Let him.
He was in the room.
But based on my poor parenting skills and selection, I can tell you, if you have a child who is at that 12 to 13 age range, who, if you think they're mature enough, but if they want to see a bit more of an adult, scarier movie, I would highly recommend Scream from 1996. I think it's a good entry for your preteen or early teen movie watchers. It'll give them some scares. It'll give them some of that slashy gore fest. Without being over the top. Like a lot of those kills are more of the imagination than they are of actually seeing somebody being dismembered.
Yeah.
For the opening scene.
Yeah, but you don't see it. You don't see that though.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like Psycho. You never see the knife penetrate in Psycho. And then when her boyfriend gets dismembered and that you don't see that the light goes off and then all of a sudden it comes on and his guts are hanging out. So
the aftermath.
yeah, but you don't
Bad.
see the kill. So the reason I say that is also, admittedly, there are some kind of funny parts to it, right? And so it's enough of a levity that it, you know, it makes things kind of funny for your preteen, early teen, as well as a little bit of scare. And I think it's a great. I really, honestly, truly think it's a great entry into the horror genre.
Not one of the Friday the 13th with, like, you know, Jason, like, comic.
No, because you want to know why?
around?
Because, well, no, because the reason I don't pick those ones is because there's a lot, like those 80s. Listen, those 80s movies were all about the gratuitous sex death scenes, right? So I think that's difficult. If you're like 1996, no way. You want to go modern? Fear Street, but that's for your mid teen kid. The Fear Street, 1994.
That's true. The first Fear Street.
Yeah.
John, part 2 of the question. What's
movie? Significant Other. So there's only one, and it's not a movie though, so I'm gonna cheat it in a little bit, and it's that TV show called You. That should terrorize, that scares the crap out of me, that show.
Never seen it. But now Stu's not happy because you have not answered the question.
It's fine. John's gonna let John doesn't watch movies because John grew up in a small town. He didn't have cable. He didn't know what's going on. He clearly only watched one VHS with some sort of Garfield movie on it, Halloween special.
Yeah.
So let that one pass
Halloween
because
special.
John doesn't know much. John, it's what it is. It's fine. Rob, as someone who is a cinephile who would have a big breadth of horror movies, because John also.
What would your wife actually watch with you, though? That's the question.
So a movie that's absolutely terrifying that my wife and I would watch together would be, we revisit our wedding video. I'm gonna try to get that chocolate in. Okay. So we want a movie that could be, listen, every person's spouse is different, whether it's your husband, your wife, whatever, however, you know, you're doing things. However, I honestly think you can't go wrong with something that's going to bring them close to you. So you're going to go Conjuring. I think you avoid the slasher gratuitous death scenes like the 80s horror movies. I think you go more of the paranormal, even the first Paranormal Activity, The Conjuring. You want to go old school, The Ring, with Naomi Watts.
Yes.
So I think you go that way because that is a lot more terrifying, and gets the blood pumping for whatever else may happen afterwards. Watching the Freddy's, the Jasons, the Michael Myers, they're cool, they're fun to watch, but they're not scary per se. You want something that's really going to terrify them. So I would recommend like the Conjuring movies.
Nah. I'm surprised, John, that when you and your wife were dating, you didn't watch any scary movies together. So, you know, I guess
I think the last thing we saw was like when Final Destination hit.
The first one?
I think the first Final Destination we did. I think we saw that together in theaters, and then we were just like, this is not for us. And then we proceeded to the only things that she watches were the rom-coms. So,
John, you're coming to see How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I don't care what you say. You're coming. No, yes, and we are also buying failure to launch tickets. I swear to God, John, we are doing this Matthew McConaughey.
We've seen both of those movies. That's 2 for 2. Do you
wait,
have a third
have you
one
seen
you want to throw
Sahara
out?
in the theaters?
No,
is that the one that you skipped?
Which one?
Sahara?
Sahara?
Is that with Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah.
That's Matthew McConaughey, and I believe Penelope Cruz.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I've actually seen that one. Is the scariest movie you'd show your wife Star Trek First Contact, Steve? No, or what's the terrible one? It's not First Contact, is it? What's the terrible?
I would say Nemesis. Is the worst one.
Nemesis, that's the one.
Speaking of which, Tom Hardy's in that movie as well.
That's right, as a young Picard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a rough.
I kind of want to see it because I need that explained. That doesn't make any sense to me.
You should watch it.
They cloned Picard, because he's Picard, and they added some Romulan DNA to him, and then he became that's it.
Tom Hardy. And then he became Bane.
Yeah, because as you learn in this movie, John,
Mr. Data,
there's a dark side of the moon on Romulus that has more feral monsters. So it's basically this whole thing where the regular Romulans and the dark side of the moon, there's a bunch of other Romulans just like Pink Floyd's told us that it was a situation.
And then say, there's no dark side of the moon, really. As a matter of fact, it's all dark.
Yeah, because Ron Perlman's also in this movie too. Oh, what a weird movie.
Coming up, yeah, right before he decided to do Blade 2. All right.
Before he plays a Vizier. Okay. As we slowly wrap up this Halloween, never too late than never. Hopefully you're either watching this before or after you're trick-or-treating out in the town, or with your kids, get them dressed, or listening on a thing. John, rolls back in the day when you're in that small town in the middle of nowhere and you don't have any TVs or video or cable. Tell us about your favorite costume you dressed up as a kid. What's your favorite memory as a kid dressing up for Halloween? What's your favorite costume you can remember as a kid?
We never did Halloween that big, but the only thing that comes to mind is
wait, you just had to dress up. What do you mean that big?
Well, we never went full into it. You just get a quick costume and then that'd be it. But I did have at one point I had the '89 Batman. They made a rubber replica cowl, and it had the bat symbol on it. But that was the only part of the costume I had. I didn't have I didn't have the cape. I didn't have the suit. So I just had a winter jacket or a jacket or black clothes. And then this really nice looking cowl from my memory. It probably looks like jank now.
Yeah.
But I remember bless my mom, she spent a lot on it. And that was literally the only part of the costume I had.
Your mom,
in all fairness, though, Halloween in Canada generally requires a winter jacket.
Yeah,
so...
yeah, your mom was ahead of the time, John. The fact that all you see is the head, anyways, is if you just bought the body armor, it was covered by a jacket.
I didn't have a black jacket, so I had to turn my jacket inside out because it was black on the inside.
Dude, God bless your mom. That cowl was the best purchase. If you could buy anything for Batman's costume, the cowl is it. Good call. Rob, what is your fondest costume as a child?
I come from an era, like maybe you two, where you generally didn't buy costumes. Your parents would kind of make them for you. Costumes didn't, you get maybe a mask. If you wanted to be the Hulk, you'd have the mask, the really plastic with the strap around it, the elastic. They weren't the elaborate costumes you see now at Party City. And no parent really wanted to spend that much money on a t-shirt and a funky little mask that ripped. It always ripped and cracked along here. So I remember my dad, I had two costumes that stick out in memory. Is he and my grandmother spent many a nights sewing together a Wolverine costume.
Wow.
With the head and then the fins, and the whole
rough shirt.
It's so hot in here. Hey, John, it's like a wet t-shirt contest at this point.
Oh God, no, don't do it.
So I had the jumpsuit. Now it was like the orange and brown Wolverine costume, not the yellow and blue. And made the glove. I mean, it was back then. You were like, it's kind of embarrassing looking the way it looked, but by today's standards, it would be the same what you got at Party City. I like that. Also, Ghostbusters. My dad had a brown. I specifically remember, getting the jumpsuit. And then my mom used to buy the patches, the iron-on patches, or they would sew it, but the iron-on ones, and made. I talked about this on the Sidekick Show. We made a proton pack out of my old school backpack and some boxes and the hose from the vacuum and everything else. So those were just awesome because you made it kind of part and parcel with your family, but it was something. You couldn't just buy it. You had to make it. And that's at the time, making something like that, it meant something to you as opposed to just being able to throw down $65 and purchasing it, right? It didn't feel as easy to throw away. Where now you buy something, $65, you wear it once and off it goes. You could
instantly in the garbage on the walk home.
But you could keep wearing. Back then I would keep wearing those costumes. Like we would play with our friends throughout the summer, and you'd be recreating shit because they weren't as disposable as it is now. So yeah,
I hear you. It's just like this mask. It's never gonna leave me forever.
You're gonna own that mask forever, Stu. Like this guy. I'm pretty sure that was at your wedding, if I recall correctly.
I for sure it was, and that was a long time ago.
I remember one kid, his mom must have been a seamstress or something, and sewed him like a Flash costume that looked exactly like that old TV series. And this is back in the day in school when you would take your costume and you would go to every class, and the whole school was just like, "Whoa, look at this guy's costume!" Like the entire school was like, "Damn." And then I don't know if you tried this. You should see if your son wants to do this, Rob. One guy did Freddy Krueger, and he put chunky peanut butter all over his face.
No,
No, we can rewind
John,
this episode.
No.
Where I said that my son has got a severe nut allergy.
I know that's a joke. Don't do that.
Anaphylaxis is hilarious. Next on my list, amputeeism.
Okay, you can do it, and you got to stay away from the house for I don't know how long till peanut butter gets off your skin. it was just funny to see this guy with chunky peanut butter on his face.
That's awesome. Again, you wouldn't be able to do that at school nowadays.
No,
no, you can't even do that.
No, back in the 90s.
No. That's against the rules. You'd totally be in trouble. So yeah, no, I Rob, like you, have that memory of the costume of the very thin plastic mask that had just the white band that would pretty much snap anytime you put it behind your head. I had the plastic costume, but mine was Leonardo. My mom was able to procure a Ninja Turtle costume, and that was and again, that
was Leonardo your first choice?
Jacket. So you didn't know, but I had a mask on, and it had 2 slits for your nose, and then 1 slit for your mouth, and then you just go just like what you have right now, except for yours is probably a little bit more expensive. That came probably from the comic trade paperback. Is that where you got this mask from? Or you bought it specifically somewhere else? Wow.
You can buy those like at the dollar store now. So it's crazy.
Party City.
Oh, all right. So when you're trying to overthrow the world government, you can pick it up at Party City. Good to know.
That's right. Yeah.
So mine's a Ninja Turtle costume mask, which is a thing. It was something that was very and I didn't have a weapon. But that was it. I was like, all right, no weapon.
Did you ever?
Didn't even come with cardboard weapons.
It did not come with a weapon. It was just the little thing and like the plastic like smock and the face. Weapons were sold separately.
Did you guys ever reuse a costume the next year because you loved it so much?
No, because I think I grew out of every costume because I was a growing boy, Rob. I don't know. Did you reuse that costume?
I did. 1 year when I must have been about 6 or 7. I got 6, and then when I was 7, I was Dracula. But my parents had made me this like really long cape, and I had like this special like red crystal jewel that kind of draped it on top, and you slick your hair back, and then you with the black pencil you drew the point. It was so easy. The fangs, the face. Yeah, I was Dracula 2 years in a row because that cape was sick. In fact, I used that cape when I was a kid playing around the backyard pretending I was like Batman and stuff. It was amazing.
So John, what are your kids dressing up like for Halloween?
I have no idea. I didn't even know we had the Spider Ghost costume. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right.
Yeah,
I don't know. They've got a whole bunch of costumes now. It seems to be the norm now. Disney store and the princess dresses and all kinds of other fun stuff for the girls.
Rob, what about you? What's your kids? What do they want to do? Is it all Squid Game? What's their jive right now?
No, so Noah's going as Ghostface from Scream.
Not the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yes, no. Yeah, he's not. No. I'm going as ODB. No. So he's.
Oh, I'm going as the RZA.
The RZA, the GZA, the old dirty bastard.
John, are you going to be Method Man? Are we going to do the Wu-Tang Clan this year?
I guess we could.
John.
Yeah, so he's going as Ghostface. And then my daughter and her 2 friends, they're all going as Charlie's Angels. They all got
wait, which Charlie's Angels? The original, the Drew Barrymore, or the new
Kristen Stewart one?
Kristen Stewart, yeah. I forgot who else was in that movie.
They haven't seen the Kristen Stewart one. They've seen the 2 Drew Barrymore movies.
Yeah.
Here's what happened is that for the past couple of years, the three of them are kind of inseparable. And at school, the gym teacher kept saying, "Oh, you guys are like Charlie's Angels," which I start to question like what the gym teacher really trying to get at. But at any rate, I'm sure he's doing it out of the kindness of his heart. And they're like, "What?" And we watched the movies, and they're like, "Hey, we should go as Charlie's Angels for Halloween." And so the three of them are, black pants and black shirt and the jacket with, maybe they'll be carrying a weapon or I don't know, whatever.
Maybe I'll arm them. Maybe I won't.
So she's going to be one of the Charlie's Angels. Which one? Who knows? They all look the same.
Wow, that's they don't, but okay, we're gonna carry on.
In the original show, there were three little white girls, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, they all had their own things, but that's fine.
Okay, my daughter's going as Jacqueline Smith. Okay, there, I just threw it out. I don't know.
Thank you, Robert Goodette. That's all I want to know. All right, that's all I want to know. So, as we wrap up this ridiculous podcast on Halloween, and as we wrap things up. Wow, Rob, that's a oh my goodness.
Oh God, come on, dude.
I thought that was just blood pouring out of you. I thought that something had happened, but we're gonna continue on.
If peeing your pants is cool,
you really had to pee. Another Adam Sandler reference.
It just flew up. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
All right.
As we were last thing was before we wrap this up, is there, John, a comic book that you recommend for people to check out on Halloween? Like, is there a Halloween comic book that you would recommend for people to check out?
There's tons of stuff. Andre's doing a really good job covering it on his TGIF series for all of October. Him and Jesse have been talking about all kinds of fun books like Nice House on the Lake, The Me You Love in the Dark, DC versus Vampires, Deceased, and things like that. I'm going to shout out Once in Future, which is a Boom Studios book. It's got a King Arthur spin, but it's always like got this kind of dark slant to it where these skeletons and all kinds of things going on. So it's King Arthur kind of in modern times, and he's not probably the noble King Arthur you thought he was. He may or may not be a good guy. So I highly recommend that one.
Is this inspired by Guy Ritchie's King Arthur? Is he going to walk around and
unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. I did kind of enjoy that movie, kind of not really. I don't know. It's hard to say. But yeah, and if you're looking for other good comic recommendations, Rob's going to hit us up with something really nice too. And then check out Andre and Jesse on TGIF.
Rob, what do you got for us? What's a book that you recommend people read on Halloween?
Oh, you want to listen? I'm not going to say The Underwater Welder. It is not scary enough. You know me, I've always been a fan of Gideon Falls. I've mentioned that before in the past. We have talked about Something is Killing the Children. There's a book that is out right now, and I'm hesitant to mention it. Right now it's currently on Comixology only, but they are coming out in print. It was written by Scott Snyder, drawn by Greg Capullo. It's called We Are Demons. Is it just Demons? Maybe. Yeah, We Have Demons. Sorry. And it will be hitting bookstores, your comic shops, over the next few months. I read the first issue through the Comixology app, and I would highly recommend it if you have an opportunity to, and then go pick up. For this, I would probably wait for the collected edition. I think they're only doing like a handful of issues, so definitely check that out. But Gideon Falls, if you haven't gotten into it, it's something that you really do need to dive into. The first hardcover collected edition is out now. I know that, John, they have it at the store. It's trippy, it's mind-bending, and it is a series that will pay off when you get into it. The first couple of issues, you'd be like, wow, what's so kind of crazy about this? But it is visceral, and it is gory, and it is it's a trip. So I've always recommended Gideon Falls. I'm a big fan of that, so definitely check it out.
Goes without saying, slam dunk, Long Halloween, Batman recommendation. Check out that trade. You can watch the animated movies or watch our review on them. We've talked about both of those things. Rob was not a fan. However, the book is great no matter.
I like the book. I didn't like the movie.
So
they just did a follow-up this week. If you're in comic shops this week, they just did a follow-up one shot. So it's pretty cool.
There we go. All right, John, and perfect lineup for that. where can people find you on the internet and in the desert of the real?
Yeah, so Heroes World Online is going to be your key phrase to take you to almost all of our online content, hence the name Heroes World Online. So our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and the website all under Heroes World Online. So you can get your information there, and you can contact us through any of those means. And then if you are, as Andre likes to say, in the desert of the real, you can find us at 8601 Warden Avenue in Markham, Ontario, right in the northeast corner of Warden Highway 7. Big plaza. We got lots of fun stuff in there. We got Felix and Norton cookies, very, very hot place for your desserts. And we just got a bubble tea place, cocoa bubble tea, and lots of other amenities, Shoppers Drug Mart, No Frills, all kinds of stuff you can come get. But we also have a fully packed store. Well, all kinds of great stuff. Christmas is going to be right around the corner. It's going to be on your ass in a second, folks. So definitely start looking and shopping. We got tons of these trade paperbacks. We always talk about comics and stuff like that. So we've got comics, toys, everything you could think of under the sun. And don't hesitate to message if you're looking for something. But yeah, please give us a visit.
If you have an opportunity to buy anything from the Heroes World store, please do. Any support for local stores is most welcome. If you are unable to support the store in that capacity, please like, subscribe, share, comment, do all those things you can on social media, especially on YouTube. Helps us get the message across to the World Wide Web that the store exists and that friendly, nice people like John and Andre are available at the store. And sometimes Pat is there as well. So please do that. And let us know in the comments what your favorite box of chocolate is, what your favorite costume was as a child, and all the things. Let us know. Let us share. Rob, tell us what's going on the Sidekick Show and where they can find you on the interwebs.
Oh, well, listen. Listen, if you're just tuning in late, it's Halloween.
No kidding.
One of us is wearing an absolutely terrifying mask.
It's true. It's true.
It's this guy right here. So he's my partner in crime on the Heroes World Sidekick Show, and all month we've been doing going back in time and checking out scary Halloween movies or movies that you would watch Halloween, like Ghostbusters, like Scream. Tomorrow night, Monday, is November the 1st, but we are finishing it off with Drag Me to Hell, the 2009. My nose is really itchy under this mask. It's driving me a little bit crazy. The 2009 movie from Sam Raimi, who will be obviously directing the upcoming Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So definitely you could check that. It is currently on Netflix. If you have not seen it, then what better time than tonight? You put the kids to bed, throw on Drag Me to Hell. It's 90 minutes. It's in, it's out, like prom night. And you're going to enjoy it. So definitely check us out as we roll that tomorrow on the Heroes World Sidekick Show, 8:15 p.m. YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook.
Awesome. Well, hopefully everyone enjoys their Halloween. Next week we're going to be talking about something. Don't know what it is. I don't know what comes up this in the next couple of weeks.
Eternals, is it not? Is Eternals not next week?
No.
Oh,
No?
No, the week. Yeah, it is. You're right. It is by next Sunday. Eternals will have been out.
Oh, we might do a review of the Eternals. We're gonna find out. I don't know what we're gonna do. It may be that. It may be just continuing talk on how I feel about this Cowboy Bebop trailer, which really is unsettling. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this.
It's fine.
It's my favorite show. It's my favorite anime, and I'm
really?
very,
of all
very
time?
unsettled. Sorry?
Of all time?
Yeah,
Cowboy Bebop is your favorite?
100%.
Cool.
I will say that the anime is actually on Netflix. I saw it today.
The anime, oh, for sure. I've rewatched it recently in the background as work was going on. It still holds up. It's still great. I enjoy everything about it. It's still my favorite anime, and a lot of stuff has come out, but I like it short and sweet. So nonetheless.
Unlike Venom 2. Hey, John, thanks for committing to the role and putting your mask on at the very end of the show. That's awesome.
I shout outs to you guys. They could do it. I'm taking this off in another second anyway. So we're gonna prolong this outro.
Are we wearing masks? I thought this was just our normal faces. I thought
That's
the
your
masks are what we wear on every other day besides Halloween. This is what I normally look like. Horse face.
All right.
So, anyways, thank you so much.
You guys remember Flashdance?
We'll see you next week. Do we know what we're reviewing? No, we don't, but it's a thing. So, anyways, see you all later. Have a good one. Be safe. Enjoy the Halloween.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.